Hi KIFFers, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tasha, aka Miss KIFF. This video was inspired by my first video, which I did my first 6 months of living full-time in my van, Luna. And if you missed that video, you can check it out over here. I thought to myself, why not continue the series of living 3 months in my van? What does that look like to live in the van? And it really is a seasonal change living in a van. You go through all the emotions, trust me. I thought the last video ended on the 31st of December 2022. Why not pick up from New Year's? I'm a lot happier this winter in comparison to last winter. Like almost a year ago, things were rough for me, to say the least. I was grieving. I was going crazy. I nearly quit van life. Could you believe it? It was rough, to say the least. So this is a real life version of living 3 months in full-time in a van in the UK. Okay? So if you haven't done so already, subscribe, because you know it helps the sister out. And I'm trying to get to 2k subscribers. Do you know what I mean? Before this year ends. Anyway, let's get into this video.
January 2023. I started my year in my second home, the Brick and Beacons. I was alone and had one of the best New Year's. At this stage, I just needed to feel peaceful. There is something about mountains that I've fallen in love with. Could be because I grew up with them in South Africa, or it's the fact that they are bold and each mountain has its own expression and resonance of energy. I shortly made my way to Snowdon. It seems to be a tradition that I go solo hiking in the middle of winter. Snowdon was tough. I was 100% naive and silly, to be honest. I didn't think at all. 2 hours into my hike, I fell on an icy rock and hurt my knee. I never had enough fuel for food either. I remember wanting to cry all the time, and because I had never hiked on a terrain like this before, Snowdon is uphill all the way and you're scrambling for most of the journey. As I approached the ridge, which was icy and this massive thick clouds were on its way, I decided it was time to leave. I landed up feeling rather disappointed in myself for not actually making the summit. Reflecting on it now, I was rather smart. I slept for 12 hours and the next day I woke up to a massive storm that left my van rocking. I made my way slowly back to Cardiff. To give you context, I was working as a digital marketing executive in the city, and I knew that our working relationship wasn't going well. I knew at any minute I was going to lose my job. Well, not past my probation. Van life at this point was my escape from people and from negative energy. I had just finished my van build and it was really time to enjoy it. I just wanted peace. Life had completely changed since my mother passed last May. Van life in the city was challenging. I was working as a digital marketer 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and then in the evening 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. trying to work on my business because I knew I would be losing my job. I was paying for parking 15 minutes away from the co-working space which I'm so grateful for, and my sleep was in fight or flight mode. My diesel heater was so loud that I couldn't have it on in the city. I was stealth parking and sleeping in -3 degrees some nights. It would take me 2 hours to fall asleep. As you can imagine, you could do the math. Going to bed at 3 a.m. and waking up 7 a.m. to start the day all over was not sustainable. I remember going to the Brecon Beacons where I just needed to think. I went to cold water swim at 3 degrees. I just needed clarity. I needed peace. I remember asking the universe, what must I do? I can't keep on like this. I either need to rent in the city or leave to nature, but money is my biggest obstacle. Give me direction, please. At the end of February, my prediction came true. I never passed my probation and was forced into self-employment. I remember I landed up applying for universal credit straight away. My van's MOT was due. Luckily, I had savings for this. I was faced with one of the most challenging times of van life. It of course failed its MOT. I had to find a place to stay. I landed up finding a hostel in Cardiff, which was the most disgusting place I've ever been. The showers were cold in the morning for £20 a night. I had paid 2 nights to stay here. Then my van eventually passed its MOT. However, there was an immobilizer issue. And due to a third party, I had been waiting 4 weeks before I got my van back. I had the money for the first 2 bills, but the last bill I just couldn't cover, and I wouldn't be able to get my van back if I didn't have it. I landed up applying for emergency funding through the Universal Credit, which they gave me $450, which I pay back monthly now. Thank goodness I had this. I could pay for this van. During this time, I called the emergency housing, who said you have to queue up every night at 6 o'clock at a homeless shelter. They also said it was mixed gender, so I was not comfortable straight away. I was stuck. I went to apply for housing in Cardiff too, and I must admit, this process is the most uncomfortable experience. I didn't feel safe. I would rather stay in my van. Luckily, I had a subscriber who paid for a hotel for the night, and my friend reached out saying I could crash on the couch. At this time, my freelancing took 2 months to pay me. I was very broke, to say the least. I had no money for food, and luckily, the Atma Lounge in Cardiff gave me free meals for a week, which was dal and rice. I'm so grateful for them. And I landed up recording a YouTube video to ask for £10 donations just to get food. I had many people reach out to and help me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Mentally, I was a complete mess, recovering post-pandemic, dealing with grief, just finished converting my van that I couldn't access because of the mechanics, being homeless with no food. It's one of the lowest moments of my life. The support of the van life community and YouTuber subscribers meant the world to me. It kept me going. I'm eternally grateful, and this is where things started to turn around for me. As mentioned, I asked the universe for a sign, and it was delivered. My subscriber and van life friend Simon tagged me in a Facebook group for digital nomads. Campsite manager, May to September 2023, 10 to 20 hours a week, £11 an hour, apply. This was the sign I had been looking for. My prayers were answered. These 3 months showed me exactly where I don't want to be in life. It showed me the bottom of the barrel. It showed me a life I don't ever want to see again. It showed me that life can be unpredictable and community is key to helping you through those tough times. It also showed me if you're desperate, just ask for help. My resilience is everything. My determination to keep going and my strength of my mind is everything, and what is meant to be will be. These were the first 3 months of 2023. living full-time in my van in the UK. Make sure you subscribe for more to not miss out on where my journey will take me next.